Hello, welcome to Navyug. Today we are going to speak about how to prepare for the CFCS exam, practical tips on passing CFCS certification from CFCS US. I cleared the CFCS certification exam in my very first attempt. I'm sharing my journey and experience of clearing the CFCS certification. The first thing that comes to the mind of the aspirants is whether the study manual provided by the CFCS is enough for the CFCS certification. Well, the answer is yes. The 6th edition of the CFCS student manual for the certification has following 14 chapters spanning 311 pages. Chapter 1, CFCS and the Challenge of Financial Crime. Chapter 2, Financial Crime Overview, Commonalities and Convergence. Chapter 3, Money Laundering. Chapter 4, Understanding and Preventing Fraud. Chapter 5, Global Anti-Corruption Compliance and Enforcement. Chapter 6, Tax Evasion and Enforcement. Chapter 7, Asset Recovery. Chapter 8, Financial Crime Investigations. Chapter 9, Interpreting Financial Documents. Chapter 10, Money and Commodities Flow. Chapter 11, Compliance Programs and Controls. Chapter 12, Cybersecurity. Chapter 13, Ethical Responsibilities and Best Practices. And Chapter 14, International Agreements and Standards. Here I would like to add that the study manual is sufficient in itself to help clear the exam. I would recommend you to study the manual thoroughly at least once. Here the focus should be on understanding what has been shared through the manual and not on mere rote learning. With special focus on money laundering and terrorist financing, their red alerts and typologies, beneficial ownership, compliance program, tax evasion and enforcement, etc. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 only require reading once just to get an introduction to the CFCS exam, its genesis and usefulness, and the financial crime landscape. No questions are asked from these chapters during the exam. Chapter 2 mentions some of the tax havens. The screenshot is enclosed. You may just want to have a look. Now the remaining 12 chapters from the manual are really important and need focused study. I started reading the manual around July 20th, 2021. Although initially I had planned to appear for the CFCS exam before September 30th, 2021, I could not, as I was not confident with the limited number of practice exam questions and I was skeptical as to what may be asked in the final exam. Therefore, I reread the selected chapters from the manual where I thought I was not sure. Since scenario-based questions in the exam are the most challenging, a good understanding of the content is a must to correctly answer questions. After reading the manual once, you should take the practice questions that you get with the package. At present, the package offers 102 practice questions. Well, if you have already cleared exams like CFE, Certified Fraud Examiner, or CAMS, Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialist, you may find the content a lot easier. Practice questions will help you in identifying your weak areas where you need further reading. It also gives you an idea to the kind of questions that are asked in the final exam. I suggest you take the practice exams at least 3 to 4 times during your entire preparation. Please note there are only 102 practice questions which can be given as many number of times. Although there is no particular order to give the practice exam, I suggest the following. First, practice exam can be given after reading the manual once. Second, practice exam can be given after watching the video lessons that one gets with the exam package and after reading selected chapters of the manual where one scored less marks during the first exam attempt. Then you may go on to read with special focus on FATF40 recommendations, Basel Committee, Wurzburg Principles for Intermediaries, OECD and Transparency International. Third or fourth time practice exam should be given just a day before your final exam. Please ensure to focus on red alerts and typologies mentioned in different chapters in the manual. One way of doing is to use Ctrl+F option on your keyboard on the study manual, the PDF copy. This will highlight all the pages that has red flags listed on different topics. This needs special attention as scenario-based questions are formed around these red flags. Since many questions in the final exam are on the same lines from the practice exams, one should take the practice exam seriously. Here I would also like to add, there is no other website at present which offers quality practice questions for the CFCS exam. Therefore, I strictly advise you to read the manual thoroughly. Chatting with people who have recently cleared CFCS certification will also give you an idea to the kind of questions being asked. Therefore, during your preparation, you must chat with people who have recently cleared the CFCS exam. When to schedule your CFCS exam? Well, there is no particular time of the day when you can appear for the exam, but that definitely depends on the availability of slot. I will suggest and recommend you to take the exam in the morning. Proper sleep and rest is really necessary for this 4-hour long exam. You may also want to keep tea, coffee, water, and other snacks along with you to eat during the exam to keep your energy levels up. During the exam, you may experience stress as many times the questions seem difficult, and it is really important that you are focused and committed in completing the entire exam. In our next video, we will discuss each chapter and the important topics. If you have any questions or concerns, you may please comment in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to revert. Thank you.